All right, what's going on, everybody? This is Ryan Cassidy from the Big East Barroom, and this is my first attempt at one of these voiceover videos on YouTube. A format of breaking down some tape. I love to do this stuff on Twitter, but I thought this could be interesting. And if you like it, definitely let me know, and I will do more of them. I picked as the first topic for this voiceover video is St. John's defense. Last night against Georgetown, they are now the number 4 ranked defense in the country. They held Georgetown's offense to 3 points in the first 8 minutes and 49 seconds. So I thought that was as good of a topic to start with as any. And I'm also a sucker for some good defense. So this is a pet project of mine. So anyhow, we're going to start with Georgetown's first offensive possession of the game. And it's going to be a lot of misdirection, a little staggered screen there. They're going to fake stagger there. Epps is going to reject it, cut to the paint. Thomas Sorber is going to sink down to set a little down screen for Epps to get the ball. All of that action is just misdirection for this last pass here, which is going to be Jaden Epps to Thomas Sorber for the post feed. But what I want you to watch is how far out Zuby Ejiofor forces Thomas Sorber to catch this ball. He's almost at the three-point line. He's much closer to the three-point line than the paint. That's strength. That's not allowing him to get to his spot. Thomas Sorber's getting a little jab step, long two. That's a tough shot. That's not a winning shot. That's exactly what Zuby Ejiofor wants to force in that possession. And then here's the resulting possession, the inbounds, and it's going to be similar, right? It's going to be to Epps. Sorber's going to set this little down screen to Mack up at the top of the key, and there's the post entry. That's 2 set plays in a row. The first 2 plays that Georgetown runs are for Thomas Sorber to get a touch on the block. Ed Cooley wants to get him going. He knows that's his best chance of winning this game is to get Thomas Sorber an easy basket early. Let's watch Zuby Ejiofor, though. Puts his shoulder into him. Zuby doesn't go anywhere, right? And there's the shot. Leaning back, hand in his face, chest to chest. That's a really tough shot. That's not a winning shot. And he misses it. That's the first 2 plays of the game that Zuby Ejiofor completely takes Thomas Sorber out of his element with some tremendous defense. Moving forward about a minute here, and here's what I love about this St. John's defense. This is going to be an action for PV. It's called a zoom. It's a screen into a handoff. Kadari's supposed to chase him, right? For most defenses, Kadari's going to chase him. He's going to run into a screen, and PV's able to turn the corner. This St. John's defense is able to switch so much. Watch Aaron Scott. He switches right onto PV, goes under, and he's right there. There's nothing PV can do. Why is that? Because everybody on the floor here is at least 6'4", and Kadari Richmond is 6'6". That means Kadari Richmond is now guarding Drew Fielder. He's your 4. That's not a mismatch for Kadari because of Kadari's size. His size allows everybody else to switch around without creating mismatches. Scott's going to guard PV one-on-one. Scott has no problem. He's a good defender. And then PV's going to hot potato it to Jaden Epps. And you got R.J. Lewis defending him. R.J. Lewis is one of the best wing defenders in the Big East. Jaden Epps is a terrific one-on-one basketball player, but not against R.J. Lewis. This is a ridiculous ask from him. And he throws that ball away. That's a really nice defensive possession from them where they took Georgetown out of the action they wanted to, forced them to play one-on-one, and just allowed your better athletes to beat them. Moving forward just a few seconds, and we're going to have... This is a set play that Georgetown's going to run for Malik Mack. So you're going to see him set a little screen here and cut to the paint. Then he's going to run off this pin down. And by the time the ball gets there, Aaron Scott's already there. Is the ball a little late? Maybe. But Aaron Scott judges that perfectly. Malik Mack's going to throw it back to Micah Peavy and ask Micah Peavy to beat Kadari Richmond one-on-one. And that's why Kadari Richmond is the best defensive point guard in the Big East, because he's guarding a 3 there, and he has no problem. All right, this next possession I loved. It's going to start with a little back screen for Peavy. See if he can get him going to the paint, but look at Zuby Ejiofor's hands. And then, look at Kadari Richmond 6'6". You can't make that pass, and look at the hands. So you can take him out of that. Then it's a little dribble handoff for Mack. Wilcher gets there. And then it's going to be a ball screen. Look at Wilcher get skinny there. Look how skinny Wilcher gets. Goes right over the screen. Completely blows up the action. Ejiofor goes with Mack. He's going to recover to Sorber. Sorber's not a good enough shooter to take that shot at this point in his career. But you got Micah Peavy in the corner, right? So you got Kadari Richmond down here. He's going to sink into the paint when there's the ball screen, thinking he might have to guard the back end. because Kadari sinks into the paint, now Micah Peavy thinks he's open. That's your senior calling for the ball from a freshman. Of course he's going to pass him the ball. And watch Kadari Richmond just casually go take that. He's 6'6". He's got a wingspan of a forward, maybe even a 4. He knows exactly where his man is, and he's going to go take that ball. All right, moving forward, and we get a look at the press. This is not one of Rick Pitino's more pressing teams in his coaching career, but they break it out every now and then, and look how disruptive it is. You're going to give this ball to Malik Mack here, right? He's 6 feet tall. RJ Lewis is 6'6", and Simeon Wilcher is 6'4". They're lucky they get this ball over the timeline with 2 seconds, a second and a half to spare. But look how much of the clock is going to be taken off by the time the offense has even started. 15 seconds, you've already lost half the clock by the time you're getting into your offense. Curtis Williams is going to little post up here. And actually, St. John's gets out of position. RJ Lewis goes for the steal. He misses. Curtis Williams in good shape, right? Now Kadari's just going to switch. Your point guard can guard that 4, no problem. And then credit Aaron Scott finding Sorber after Zuby kind of lost him for a moment and forcing a really tough shot. Yeah, St. John's needs to finish that with a defensive rebound, but this is a hell of 20 seconds of defense. Now you're going to get this action over here with Sorber, and just watch. I mean, RJ Lewis, deny, can't make that pass. Simeon Wilcher, deny, can't make that pass. Zuby Ejiofor goes and pokes that ball out. Now it's, I mean, you've already immediately taken these guys out of their action. They're not running a set play at this point because you've denied a bunch of passes. So now you're asking Curtis Williams to be RJ Lewis one-on-one. One of the best wing defenders in the Big East once again. Step back, crossover. He's lucky it got that much rim. That's a bad shot. That's a theme. And then we got one last clip, and that is going to be another set play for Malik Mack. So he's going to, if we can get there, he's going to make that pass, and then he's running off 2 screens on the baseline. Idea to get him a shot on the perimeter, right? Simeon Wilcher is right there. Excuse me. Mack thinks he's open for a moment, too. He goes up into the shooting motion. Simeon Wilcher is right there. I don't know if he would have blocked it. He certainly would have affected the shot. Mack gets rid of it. And now you're asking him to play one-on-one. You've taken him out of their set play. Do you want to say it's a foul? Maybe. Or do you want to say St. John's plays really physical defense? Zuby Ejiofor takes that ball from him. That's how Georgetown only scored 3 points through the first 8 minutes last night. That's how Georgetown got blown out. St. John's has one of the best defenses in the country. We got to see it in full effect last night. Want to thank you all for listening to my first attempt at this. Definitely want to keep doing it, so let me know if you enjoyed it.